नमस्कार, मैं सीए मनमोहन जिंदल from Mumbai, IBBI evaluator and ex-Canara Bank. We shall today discuss priority sector lending in housing sector. We all know that bank has to finance 40% of adjusted net bank credit called ANBC and credit equivalent of off-balance sheet exposure CEOBE, whichever is higher, to priority sector for the growth of India and rural sector of India. The categories of the priority sector lending are as follows. Number one, agriculture, micro and small medium enterprises, export credit, education, housing, social infrastructure, renewable energy and others. Others में कई सारे part आते हैं. So we shall discuss today on housing. Bank loans to housing sector as per limits prescribed below are eligible for priority sector classification. Here, loans given to individuals up to 35 lakh in metropolitan centers, provided the cost of dwelling unit should not exceed 45 lakh. And in other areas, up to 25 lakh, provided the overall cost of dwelling unit does not exceed 30 lakh. Here it is to be said that existing individual housing loans of urban cooperative banks presently classified as priority sector lending will continue as priority sector lending till maturity or repayment. Number 2, housing loans to banks own employees will not be eligible for classification under priority sector. Means there is a tradition, एक चलता ही है कि बैंक के एम्प्लॉइज को लोअर इंटरेस्ट के ऊपर बैंक हाउसिंग लोन देते हैं, परंतु उसको प्राइवेट सेक्टर लेंडिंग में कंसिडर नहीं किया जाएगा. तीसरा, सिंस हाउसिंग लोन विच आर बैक्ड बाय लॉन्ग टर्म बॉन्ड्स, जो हाउसिंग लोन लॉन्ग टर्म बॉन्ड्स के द्वारा है और वो ANBC से एग्जेम्प्टेड है, बैंक शुड नॉट क्लासिफाई सच लोन अंडर प्राइवेट सेक्टर. बैंक ऐसे लोन को प्राइवेट सेक्टर में क्लासिफाई नहीं करेगा. Investment made by UCBs in bonds issued by NHB, HUDCO on or after 1 April 2007 shall not be eligible for classification under priority sector. Another is loans up to 10 lakh in metropolitan centers and up to ₹6 lakh in other centers for repairs to damaged dwelling units confirming to the overall cost of dwelling unit in metropolitan center does not exceed 45 lakh and in the other center it should not exceed 30 lakh. यही सेम फार्मूला ऊपर वाला ये जो है ना नंबर 1 में हमने बोला था कि उसकी कोस्ट मेट्रोपॉलिटन सेंटर के लिए 45 लाख से ज्यादा नहीं होनी चाहिए और उसके लिए 30 लाख से ज्यादा नहीं होने चाहिए. सेम चीज यहाँ पर आएगा कि 45 लाख से ज्यादा नहीं होनी चाहिए, 30 लाख से ज्यादा नहीं होनी चाहिए. तो उसके लिए अगर उसके ऊपर रिपेयर के लिए 10 लाख और 30 लाख वाले के लिए 6 लाख रुपए का रिपेयर लोन दिया जाता है तो वो भी प्राइवेट सेक्टर में ही आएगा. बैंक loans to any governmental agencies for construction of dwelling unit or for slum clearance or and rehabilitation of slum dwellers subject to dwelling unit with carpet area of not more than 60 square meter, means near about 720 square foot. So slum clearance वगैरह के लिए जो भी मकान बनाए जाते हैं वो भी प्राइवेट सेक्टर में आएंगे. Bank loans for affordable housing projects using at least 50% of FAR and FSI for dwelling unit with carpet area of not more than 60 square meter. Bank loans to HFC approved by NHB for their refinance for on lending up to ₹20 lakh for individual borrowers and for purchase, construction, reconstruction of individual dwelling units or for slum clearance and rehabilitation of slum dwellers subject to conditions specified in para 2 and 3. So what are the para 2 and 3? Bank loans to HFC for on lending, not applicable to RRBs, SFBs and LABs. Bank credit to housing finance companies approved by NHB for their refinance and for on lending for the purpose of purchase, construction, reconstruction of individual dwelling units or for slum clearance and rehabilitation of slum dwellers subject to an aggregate loan of 20 lakh per borrower. Bank should maintain necessary borrower-wide details of underlying portfolio. And third is cap on lending bank credit to NBFC, including HFCs for on lending as applicable in para 1 and 2 above, will be allowed up to an overall limit of 5% of individual banks' total priority sector lending. Bank shall compute the eligible portfolio under on lending mechanism by averaging across 4 quarters to determine adherence to the prescribed cap. Number 1. Bank loans to NBFC for on lending not applicable to RRBs, UCBs, SHBs and LABs. इनके लिए applicable नहीं है. NBFC के लिए है. Bank credit to registered NBFCs other than MFS or on lending will be eligible for classification as priority sector under respective category, subject to the following condition. Agriculture के लिए क्या है? On lending by NBFCs for term lending component under agriculture will be allowed up to rupees 10 lakh per borrower, and micro and small enterprises on lending by NBFCs will be allowed up to 20 lakh per borrower. So thank you very much. This is from my side. This is for only awareness purposes. Thanks for patience listening.